Today we may be craving more love, more joy, more experiences, but something's reminding us to keep things grounded. We may feel this push and pull between wanting to indulge in everything life has to offer, and yet this little quiet voice inside is saying, stay mindful, and that's going to create an inner tension. We wonder how to bring joy into our life without tipping the scales, upsetting the apple cart. And this is a perfect energy. This is a perfect time to strengthen our resolve. Got a Dylan hair or something there. Dylan sheds like crazy. My dog. Uh, it's knowing when to lean into life's pleasures and when to pull back and keep your world in balance. So if you're ready to understand how to navigate this dance between desire and responsibility, then let's explore this together as we embark on a journey of self-discovery, gaining an understanding of how to embrace this energy and moving forward today and every day. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. I send it right back to you. Welcome to your daily focus, September the 27th, 2024. So today we have the energy of the 27. The 27 is about things blooming and blossoming and growing, and it's about things going from the seed to maturity, and that natural flow to life, and embracing it, knowing that what we have started we can complete, knowing that one completion leads to a new opportunity, a new path forward, an elevated path forward, and everything in between. 2 plus 7 is a 9 energy. The 9 energy is about closure, completion, healing, but we're doing it for a reason. We are putting closure on things. We are letting go of things to make room for the new experiences we want to bring in. And yes, we allow healing in so we can let more light in, more happiness, more joy to be our everyday experience. If we look at the daily numerology, it'd be a 9 plus a 9 plus an 8, which gives us a 26. 26 energy is about having a focus, creating a plan, creating a strategy. And it usually involves growing a business or growing your wealth in some way. It could, I'm sure, represent love as well, growing love, but it's about showing up and doing what has to be done, sticking to the plan, sticking to the strategy in order to have that long-term achievement, success, reward. 2 plus 6 is an 8, and the 8 energy is all about abundance, prosperity coming into our life, creating it, attracting it, growing our stature, growing our respect, the respect people have of us by walking with a sense of integrity. Sun is in Libra, our moon is in Leo. Now, Venus and Jupiter are in a minor square, so we could end up feeling fulfilled or frustrated today, depending on how we embrace this energy. So it's a time when our natural want is to enjoy life, but it kind of feels at odds with, our maintained boundaries that we have in place of what we can do and what we can't do, and how much of it comes into our world. So there's this tension about too much and not enough. And whether it's emotions or spending or your expectations of others, your expectations with self, this energy can cause us to push limits, to step over our lines, to step over our boundaries. So we feel conflicted in some sense of, what we want in our life and what is reasonable or responsible. I think it was Mae West who once said, too much of a good thing can be wonderful. But my mom always said everything in moderation won't hurt you. Too much of a good thing can. Now, I usually stick to my mom's advice, okay? But some of us may follow Mae West's advice, right? Just more is better, right? More is more wonderful. And the true purpose of this challenge is to find that sweet spot in the middle, to take everything life has to offer us while grounding ourselves in the reality of our moment, of our path forward. So we'll be tempted to overspend, to overcommit, to overindulge. So we need to stay mindful. Okay, we need to ask ourselves if this is in alignment with our forward movement. Mindful moderation, okay? That will help us make the most of the experience. And this is also a time to embrace the spirit of generosity, to create and to step into fun, enjoyment, and laughter. And that usually is what's going to get us in the most trouble. Because, wow, wouldn't it be fun to just go in there and have the meal of a lifetime? Who cares what it's going to cost? We'll cover it later. And then you get the bill. Right? So we do we want the steak dinner? Well, there's other ways of going to getting the steak dinner. You don't have to have it at the fanciest restaurant. Okay, if you want, decorate the room. Go out and buy a couple of ornaments for your dining room table at the dollar store, or make them yourself if you got the time. That'll be fun. And we do it on Thanksgiving a lot of the times, right? The kids go out and get the colorful leaves. We put them in the middle of the table, right? We don't go out and spend thousands of dollars on it, but we could. We could. We can get a hot dog for $1.50, or we can pay $20 for it. We could. So we also have to think of our budget, right? We have to think of how much money we actually have to spend. Or you want to go to the park for the day and you can get unlimited rides if you pay this much money. But hey, it's a busy park, so you can pay this much extra to get to the front of the line. And that's almost the same price as what you're paying to actually get in and get all the rides. So now you're going to be paying double. Well, maybe you won't be able to go on all the rides as soon as you can or as many times as you can, but I'm sure it'll be still a wonderful experience to just get in line and go on the rides. Can you afford it, right? You promised your spouse or your partner that you would be home for sure for supper at 5 o'clock tonight. I know I've been out a lot, and I know I've been out with the guys or the girls or whoever it may be, and yeah, I need to spend some more time at home. You're right, and I'll be home at 5, and then somebody suggests something to you. That's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. You don't want to miss out on that, do you? Huh. But will you be missing out on a future with that partner or that spouse because they finally had it with your empty promises? And you didn't mean it. You didn't mean it. This is this kind of energy. It's kind of playful. You didn't mean it. You were thinking at the time that, you just couldn't miss that opportunity and that somehow you would be able to explain it. But now when it comes time to explain, it doesn't sound so good now that I've said it out loud. So we need to keep an eye on our limitations, financial, emotional, physical, right? Everybody's going to go rock climbing, and you haven't so much as walked down a path for the last 5 years, but you're like, oh, I could do it. Shoot, how hard can it be? And you break your leg or you break your arm. Now, can you work? Can you walk? Can you sleep well? Was it worth the risk? Were you in any way physically prepared for that moment? Because chances are maybe not. Okay. So we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful about overdoing it, emotionally, physically, financially, absolutely. Watch out for any kind of over the top behavior. Take a step back before making any kind of decisions. Avoid creating unrealistic expectations for yourself, okay? Ground yourself. Use this time to appreciate the joy around you, absolutely, but don't get carried away with impulsive actions, okay? Focus on meaningful connections. Make sure that you're not just seeking external validation or quick thrills, right? I'm going to buy the big dinner because then everybody's going to think I'm making all kinds of money, when in fact you're 2 months behind on the mortgage or the rent. Are you doing that to make yourself happy, or are you doing that to impress others, huh? And it's still going to make you happy, right? Because you're going to be the king or queen sitting there at that table. Or a quick thrill, right? I'll just do it this once. Oh, goodness, no, no, no. Treat yourself to something special, but, set a budget or a boundary. Like today, I'm going to buy myself a nice pair of earrings. And I've got $25 in which to do it with. And if I find a pair for 30 bucks, I'll barter with myself for 5 minutes. I'll pull out that bag of excuses of why I can spend that extra $5 and I'll do it over the top because my budget was 25. So, you know what? I need to keep looking. Need to keep looking for that perfect pair of earrings that is in my budget. But do I really even need the earrings? Probably not. Engage in a creative project, okay, that will allow you to express joy and love and happiness in what you're doing. And don't worry about perfection because that will drive you insane. Have a heart to heart with a loved one. And, make sure that you are deepening that connection, not just in terms of fun, but in understanding each other a little bit or knowing each other a little bit better because of the experience. The transit between Venus and Jupiter creates a playful yet very challenging dynamic. Okay? Indulgence and responsibility are definitely going to clash. And it asks you to find the balance between pursuing your desires and respecting your limits. So the pull to overindulge may be quite strong today, but this is an opportunity to practice moderation, to reassess your values, to focus on meaningful experiences and connections. And with a little bit of mindfulness, this period can lead to some very joyful, expansive growth. And you won't fall into the pitfalls of excess. Finding out that you spent too much or you really pushed yourself to the limits that day physically. Or you didn't really take in the consideration of anybody else's feelings. Okay, let's turn to the cards. And of course, we have a Leo moon. So our Leo moon is just, say, come on, let's go. Let's have some fun. Luckily, we have a Libra sun. So that is asking us to have some kind of balance, to really bring in harmony and beauty in our life, to think before making a decision. Okay, let's see what our underlying card is for today. It is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card that says we are preparing to go into uncharted territories, new beginnings, things we don't know a lot about, but we are willing to learn. We're willing to do the work. We're willing to, take a blank piece of paper and start drawing the map, understanding how things go together. Okay, so the water is very still here, which means there is no friction. There is nothing pushing us backwards to say that we can't go forward. So once again, we kind of have to watch that today because we don't want to go forward too fast and find out that we have to put it in reverse and because we missed a whole bunch of stuff because that up there looks like so much more fun than all this before it. But we're definitely moving forward. We're moving forward with new ideas, new possibilities, new people perhaps. Temperance is our first card, and this is our card of moderation, right? Getting the balance just right for ourselves. What works for us. We're taking these two cups and we're kind of pouring a potion back and forth, just trying to get the right amount in each cup to bring us perfect balance into our world. So, isn't it amazing that this is the first card, right? The first one is the underlying energy, and we take that from the bottom of the deck. This one is the top card. This is the one, when I'm doing readings of any kind, this is the card that really tells me so much about how all the other cards are going to be played out and how it and where you are at that present moment and who you are at that present moment. So you are trying to find the balance. You're trying to find that sweet spot. You're trying to understand, how to incorporate joy and laughter and fun into your everyday life without making it just all about work and responsibilities and commitments and obligations. Go to sleep, wake up, repeat. Go to sleep, wake up, repeat, right? Where we're just doing those things repetitiously and we're not trying to invoke some kind of happiness and joy in our life because that is vitally important. Okay. You should never miss an opportunity. I remember it was a couple of weeks ago. And the plans kept changing for Paul and myself, and I had been working like around the clock, so we hadn't really seen each other. And we have a couple of things that we go to every year, and it's our, it's our little thing that we do. And one of them is the horse races. We go to the Prince of Wales horse race, and it's always a fun time. We only go on that day, and but I had to work. And he was like, "Yeah, well, it's okay, Mom, it's okay." And then they said I didn't have to work. But I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I just wanted my pillow and I just wanted to go to sleep. And he said, "You know what? That's fine, Mom. I totally get it. I'm kind of tired too because, I'm not his ride for work when I'm working. So he's walking back and forth. And so I kind of got comfortable on the bed. I put it on the TV. What am I going to watch, right? I'm just going to watch it and hopefully fall asleep here. Maybe, I got a good book beside me in case it's not interesting me and I want to read, but whatever, I'm set for the day kind of thing. And I started and I thought, why am I doing this when there is an opportunity to have fun? Is it going to kill me? Am I going to drop from exhaustion? Probably not. It's like, it's a full day, but it'll be a full day of fun. And so, I said, on second thought, Paul, let's go to the races. Oh, well, Mom, I'm a little tired. I said, no, let's go to the races. Let's do it. And we had a blast. We didn't spend too much money. And we just had fun and the experience of looking at the horses, figuring out which one was going to be the fastest, which one was going to be the slowest. So I mean, it was a fun day, but it's very easy for us to get into a rut, get into a mode where, oh, I'm just too tired. And sometimes we need to say, oh, I'm just too tired, I need to sleep. Absolutely. But there's other times when, you know what, you're worn out from your days prior, but you're not going to be exerting. I wasn't going to be exerting a lot of energy here. I knew we were going to be home before the sun came down. So I was still probably going to be awake the whole day. I might as well be doing something that I really enjoy. I'll watch Netflix when it's I'm snowed in here in February, January. Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is kind of like a no man's land kind of energy here, or at least I look upon it as the no man's land. It has three parts to it. The first part is looking back at all of our successes, all the things that has brought us to this moment, that has made us who we are today, and giving thanks for that. Giving thanks for the unique person you have become because of all of your past experiences. The second part is to the here and now and to look around you and see what you have to work with, what's already in your presence that maybe you've been overlooking. And maybe it's joy and fun and happiness. Maybe, there is that 20-minute window or a half an hour window or a 2-hour window where you could really experience some sort of joy and happiness and raise your energy. And then the third part of this is before we get back up on that horse, before we ride into our tomorrows, we ask for protection, for love, for clarity, for knowledge, for wisdom, for a clear path towards our dreams, our goals, our desires, and what we want to have happen in our world. So it is a day where we need to pull it back a little bit and think about, are we in alignment with our path? Are we bringing in the joys we need? Are we bringing in the discipline and the boundaries we need? And what is the true balance for us in order to do that successfully? To be able to take in everything life is offering us while still remaining in a balance. Our last card is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups, there's all kinds of things we wish for, we want. And this is really a card that says, you know what? Don't grab a cup too fast. Don't go head first. And I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now, haven't I? Don't go head first. I think it was just before the eclipse, right? Don't go head first into something. You really want to look at it. You want to understand, the pros and cons of it. You want to read the fine print. You want to ask the validating questions if this is the right move for you. So here we are, and we're looking at all these cups. These cups are each filled with something a little bit different in them. Some of the things are great. Some of the things are horrible. Some of the things are in between. And we don't want to make any rash decisions. We don't want to just grab a cup and run, but we want to think what we truly want our cup to look like and to hold. And so, different perceptions, we need to allow in for different perceptions. Yeah, different ways of looking at things, different ways of incorporating it into our lives. Some people eat 3 meals a day. Some people fast. Some people nibble throughout the day. Some people have snacks at night. We're all a little bit different in what we do. Why? Because it brings in probably a sense of balance. And if you're not doing it for that reason, then you have to ask yourself why you're doing it. Maybe you're only eating once a day because that's all you're giving yourself time for. And that's not very healthy. Maybe you miss breakfast, but you're snacking late at night, which is probably why it's easy to miss breakfast. Snacking at night is a no-no. Everybody knows that. And yet you'll see me snacking on the occasional night, just like everybody else does for the most part. Or having dessert, even though you know you can't move now, right? But oh, it looks so good. Okay, here we go. Renewal of peace, the 13 energy. Renewal of peace. Didn't we just have this? I think there was something about the 13 energy. I don't know, my days blur together right now. Okay, let's hold that up so you can see all the artistry because there are pictures within the pictures, little things everywhere for us to see and ponder. So something might call out to you. It's important to maintain peace with all aspects of your life, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Inner imbalances can often manifest in our daily life if we don't take time to take care of ourselves. It doesn't matter whether or not our imbalance is a negative one. Being optimistic to the point of believing in yourself to be invincible can also lead to challenges. Balance is best achieved through listening to your body. Take time for yourself. Allow your inner power to heal and return to being peace filled. This will assist you in making you stronger. So it's very much, a lot of it aligns with our reading, doesn't it? Okay. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. The thing that matters most is it brings in an imbalance. And we have to create that balance in our life. And yeah, it all starts with taking care of ourselves. And take care of ourselves when we love ourselves. Well, everything else just flows into place. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got the turtle and fertility. Isn't it funny? Because when I held up the other card, it was the snail that caught my eye. And now we have the turtle. So that's telling, that's a personal message to me to slow it down, breathe. Just past the snail. Okay. Go back to turtle. Here we go. So, turtle, creation, patience, stability, longevity, protection. Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. We are being told that there is great opportunity coming for a new project, and you've waited a long time for this, but Turtle reminds you that slow and steady can, in fact, win the race. Turtle tells you you have to be patient, slow down, but you want to keep a steady pace. That'll get you further than acting impatiently and ending up frustrated. Have you ever tried to get pregnant only to know somebody close to you wishing to have a baby? Turtle tells you that there may be indeed a pregnancy announcement by you or someone close to you. It could be somebody who's been waiting a long time for a new addition and they've had fertility treatments. Turtle is a positive message and one with much happiness. So I don't think all of us are getting pregnant today. Okay. I know the turtle's saying that, but I'm thinking, We need to expand on that for the collective. So it's where we are trying to bring in new starts, new beginnings. And maybe we've been very frustrated that that new beginning just is slightly out of reach. Or we can see it, but we just don't know how to bring it in. Or we feel something, but we're not even sure what that something is that's calling to us right now. Okay, and it's about having a patience and not get stressed out over it. That in its own divine timing, it will show up for you. It will allow you to take that step forward. That step forward that you have been craving, that you have been desiring, that you have been wanting to bring into your world. So Turtle says slow and steady wins the race. And that doesn't mean we kick our feet back every now and again. That's what the hare does in the story, right? The rabbit. The rabbit, he runs, and then he stops in for a little nap, right? And while he does that, the turtle just dum 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 and walks right by that rabbit taking a nest, nice and quiet, slow and steady. So we want to take it slow and steady. That will win the race. That will strengthen us. That will take us to the finish line. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.